Hey, Joanne, should I renovate my house before we put it on the market for sale?
That's a great question. And thanks for joining us to talk about it. This is another discussion of Coffee with Tom and Joanne, and I'm Joanne Taranto.
And I'm Tom Matthews. When we meet with homeowners who've lived in their home in Concord for 10, 20 years, probably the number one question they ask is, what do I need to do to prepare my home for sale? And should I renovate that bathroom that we've been thinking about renovating for the last 20 years?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great question. And the answer is it depends.
Right.
So it depends on what your scenario is, what your goals are. But some things that we will talk that we think are important are we want to consider when you walk out the door, what did you put in to the home as an effort to get it to its highest saleable condition versus what you're walking away with.
Right.
And so I think that this is a really important thing. If you're considering selling, 12 months out in the future or further, you have time to do a lot of things that we feel are worth preparing to get your home on the market. But let's say, for instance, you're getting relocated, so there's a timeline on it. So, Tom, what do you think about it? Should people redo a bathroom?
Right. I mean, so we live in Concord, Massachusetts. We sell in Concord and the surrounding towns, and I preface that because the labor cost in our area is really high.
Mm-hmm.
Material costs are pretty similar throughout the country, but labor is a big driver in our area.
Mm-hmm.
And to gut a bathroom in our area and renovate can be $25,000 to $75,000. And the challenge is that likelihood of getting dollar for dollar return on your investment is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
So we typically don't recommend a major renovation because it just doesn't, the numbers don't make sense.
Yep. And the thing is that no matter what you put in that new bathroom, it's not going to be the taste of the next person. So you may not even be improving the house in somebody else's eyes. When we feel making improvements, like large improvements to your bathroom, makes sense, is if you have a shower that you haven't used in 5 or 10 years, the pan leaks in the bottom.
Right.
That's a great time to fix that problem and redo the shower.
Right.
Okay. So there's definitely times when it does make sense to do some improvements.
Right.
Like we were in a house the other day that had it was built in the early 90s, and it had like these peach colored fixtures in the half bath.
Right.
We know that the half bath on the first floor is the bath that people's guests are going to use.
Right.
So it's a really important bathroom for people to consider of what it looks like, because they're going to move. Buyers are looking at this house and they're saying, we're going to move in here, but oh gosh, like that bathroom is awful. Super easy to change out a pedestal sink and a toilet.
Right.
So something like that, swapping out fixtures, great idea. Gutting to the studs, use caution.
Yeah. easy things are more. So, people use the word renovate. We use the word kind of prepare for sale.
Right.
And preparing for sale, one of the best things you can do, highest return on investment, is paint. Painting the interior, sometimes painting the exterior, sometimes painting your cabinets, your kitchen cabinets, maybe they're oak. Yep. Right now, white is really in vein. And so what we want to do is, like, where can we get you the maximum return of your investment? The other area is landscaping. Because if you've never had your house with a spring cleanup or professional mulch or your hedges trimmed, that could be a great kind of improvement for sale that you've never done, but it will get you a great return on your investment. When we're looking at how do we prepare a home for sale, it is about items that we feel get maximum impact with the least amount of effort, because you haven't done the work. You don't want to really go nuts kind of renovating. The things we look at are refinishing hardwood floors, great return on investment. Like Joanne just said, replacing fixtures.
Yep.
Like swapping out a pedestal sink is inexpensive. A new toilet, getting rid of that peach toilet, getting a nice white one, painting the walls behind it. That is a great thing to do. But major renovations, we typically do not recommend because of the labor costs and the fact that you're not going to get your return on investment. And then time. To do a renovation of a bathroom, you're talking, you need tilers, you need plasterers, you need electricians, you need plumbers.
You need every trade. Every trade to do a bathroom. And it's
timing that can be so
timing
exhausting.
it, scheduling it. if you have ever done large scale home renovations, I think it's pretty well known that they generally don't go on schedule.
No.
Things get back ordered, people get sick. There's just so many variables. And if you are trying to beeline yourself onto the market, it's really not a good strategy to start a major renovation when you're headed down the pipeline to sell. It's much more worth your time to do the things that you can control and the things that you can do yourself or with a handyman that you trust, and then let the next people do the major renovations. Like I said, if you have major components of your house that are broken, like a bathroom that can't be used, we really need to address making the bathroom functional. So there may be some type of renovation that goes into that. If your roof has a leak in it, you need to replace the roof before you go on the market. There are some things that you just can't ignore, and things that are broken, like broken appliances. You have a broken dishwasher, replace it before you go on the market.
And for those of you that live in Concord or the surrounding towns, the number one thing that we talk about homeowners doing is doing your Title V first.
Yeah.
Because if you've assigned a value of $10,000 to get your house ready for sale, and you have a septic system that's original and you have an issue with it, that could eat up your entire budget and then some. And then you may not have money left over for doing the house preps you want to do. The last thing we want a homeowner to do is to do things in the wrong order.
Right.
So they spend $5,000 on new kitchen appliances. So that's half of their budget of that $10,000 to prep the house. And then they have their Title V done and they find out their leach field needs to be replaced. That's a $25,000 fix. So, the importance of renovating your home comes with, let's do the most important items that you need to sell your house first.
Yeah.
And then we'll back our way into the other items. Because what if you're in a well?
Yep.
And
health and safety.
Health and safety.
Health and safety. We want to make sure that people are warm, safe, and dry. When they come to your house, they expect the toilets to flush.
Yeah.
They expect the showers to work. They expect the roof not to be leaking. They expect the windows to open and close.
Yeah.
And so there are certain things that are more important than others. And having a team like us to collaborate with, we can work together, and you could do as much or as little of what we suggest. And I love to say that people who follow our advice to a T generally have a really good experience selling their home because they put the effort in. But sometimes you just can't get to, you just physically can't. You have a demanding job, you have young children, you're caring for an aging parent, you have all these things going on in your personal life. And what we can do is we can give you references to other professionals that might be able to help you get these tasks done, or you just price the house accordingly.
Exactly. So this was like a great topic, great conversation. Should I renovate my home before putting it on the market? And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Tom and Joanne. We're putting out educational videos. We want people to have a great experience buying and selling real estate.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Taranto.
And I'm Tom Matthews.
Cheers.